Bruce, they did a really good job of making Bruce a very likable character. Even if you tried to play him as a non-likable character, at least you had the option to do that. So, I like my Bruce a lot. I'm very sympathetic towards him, and I feel, again, the anxiety about this big burden on his hands as being the person who is carrying Wayne Enterprise on his shoulder, carrying the fate of Gotham and all of the innocent citizens in his shoulders. The man deals with a lot of stuff, and all while having to put on a face before the public, before the reporters and the media, because he has to, because that's just the legacy that was given to him. So, anyway, sorry for going off, but that was just what my thoughts were. So, what were your thoughts on this game while I go through all the chats? I think it's slow mode silence. It'd be awkward if that thing he threw at the lady too. Alfred is here for all your punny goodness. Seems intentional to me. There were muted sounds too. Bam. We had this weird sound bug thing at this part specifically had happened to me every LP I've seen on. Oh wow, he kills his own dudes. It's happened in the beginning for me. Once again, muted sounds, yeah. The muted sounds was a little annoying unless that was intentional, but I have a feeling it wasn't intentional. Batman seems to have a personal sound muting feel. Purple attack. I wish the staircase thug would have gotten stuck in the staircase railing. That would have been much cooler. I like that little gadget. Give it up to Grissover, especially with all the purple gadgets. Like he gets thrown through the railing, but just gets stuck instead, going out the other side. He just happens to be full of multi-rised machine gun turrets in his office. I wonder would it be the sound effects are affected by the master volume. Just assuming here I'm an expert on that. He has some points. That's a stupid thing what I just said. He's a Batman villain. Stop trying that, it's over. Someone is setting him up. Epic headbutt. Maybe Cobblepot did. Come on, give it into the renegade. Not a chance. Look into my demonic purple eyes. So someone set him up. I chose to brutalize him. I would have threw him off the building. Well, at least Bruce can't be blamed for this. My Batman is a psychopath and I love it. I love this twist. Oh, liar. There is Falcone with his parents. Yes, Falcone with his parents. And Alfred, apparently. Box music in the background. It'd be an interesting plot twist if it was true in this continuity. Oh no, someone is setting them up. Alfred is in the picture. It was totally photoshopped, you guys. Totally photoshopped. Come on now. Clearly. So the Waynes are corrupt in this series. Yup. So did Falcone get shot, or are they aiming for Batman? And there's the reveal. Surprise anyone? The Telltale version of the Batman universe is quite amazing in my opinion. I agree as well. Liar. How do you know I'm lying? Takes off mask and kills him. Too bad it can't be killed. Can't be like that by young oracles. I love the direction Telltale is going with this. It's fresh in my opinion. Yep, me too. It'd be cool if we got cameos from Superman or Green Lantern. Oh, come on. Yeah, but the press twistings for trainings. Ouch, it backfired again. Why leave Bruce alone? It would be boring for all the fans if it was all the same once again, I think. I agree. No one's really good in this city. Doesn't mean they still can't help Gotham and not be spotless. You would shake a murderous hand. I mean, why, what's the, if I didn't, wouldn't that be worse? I mean, think about it. If the choices were to shake the man's hand and just get it over with, and completely snub him at a public party, what would be worse? What would be the lesser of the two evils? In my opinion, the poison that I would rather pick, the pill that I would rather swallow, given those two options, is to shake the man's hand. Just shake it and be done with it, because it doesn't mean anything. It would mean the impact would be a lot worse, and you would shoot yourself in the foot more, in my opinion, if you were just like, I hate shaking my hands with you. Pick your battles, is all I'm saying. Pick your battles. That's part of playing the game, the social game, is to know what games are worth fighting against and what is just worth to be like, alright, I'll do it, just to get it over with. A gracious host, as Falcone calls it. Something is fishy about this whole scandal. Well, apparently in Gotham, statistically, people have even unknowingly. Yeah, the media can jump conclusions a whole lot. Yeah, he is a mob member. Yeah. Shaking hands with criminals in front of journalists is a bad thing, but I completely understand her. Yeah, I addressed it. It's a bad thing, but I think the other alternative would have been worse. In the long run. Don't like that face. Why can they look up? Who can they look up? Gordon, of course. Bruce, calm down. I would totally just give the city the middle finger. I think that's what the Bruce Wayne Tower is. I think Wayne Tower is one big middle finger in the middle of the city. Well, he doesn't because he's dedicated. So is Falcone the new evil master AA? I don't think he's the new evil the maester. Maester? I think it's probably gonna be something else. Alfred's secretly a Godfather mafia boss. Wow. What is this? Oh, come on. Alfred! Troy Baker, you're awesome. That is a good reaction. A lot of oomph to it. Do you find him attractive? I fall into fantasy. Alfred was in that picture. Oh my god. Troy Baker, you are a voice actor genius. Yes, Alfred was in the picture. It seems that Waynes are corrupt in this series. That's different from the comics. Great VA casting, Telltale. Everybody loves Gordon. Well, it's still a mystery. Let's not jump to conclusions, right? Wow, everyone's divided. Well, being corrupt seems pretty much unavoidable, but Bruce is just the last one left, so he can still do more good or whatever. Very iffy with the arm breaking. I think it's because Batman is famous for breaking bones. He can make you paraplegic, but as long as he doesn't kill you. That's a very good point, BoSAG. Holy cow, 15% killed Falcone? Wow, talk about brutal. There's still a next time on after the credits. When playing like the Arkham Knight Batman, break as much as you want, as long as you don't kill him. Well, Batman has always been Renegade, but you get to choose between Shepard Renegade or Saren Renegade. Hey, what is your favorite Batman story? Without giving away too much, so I'm a big I'm a big Batgirl fan. So a lot of the, like even in the cartoons and even in the Adam West shows, I love the Batgirl episodes. Those are always my favorite episodes. I love strong female characters. That's a big thing for me while I was growing up, because I wanted to be able to have more heroines and more female people that I would look up to, females to look up to. So anything Batgirl in it would be my answer. I find all of the Batgirl stuff really cool and really fun. I have not seen The Killing Joke though, and I'm afraid to watch The Killing Joke because I feel like I'm going to cry so hard. I'm going to cry so hard if I watch The Killing Joke. But I heard it's good. Batman has always been a renegade. Stuck up for Harvey, gave, quote, broke arm. Batman is a vengeance of every victim of crime, gave to Gordon. Oh, no preview, well. Batman has nearly beaten criminals to death before. I think this game has the potential to be the best Telltale game so far. It could be. Watch the preview on YouTube maybe in the stream. I probably will watch the preview at some point. He leaves criminals in full body casts all the time, breathing tubs and so on and so forth. Telltale still holds a special place in my heart, but yeah, this one's doing pretty pretty well so far. There are many variations of who Batman is. Wow, the music is epic, the story so far is epic, and the voice casting is epic. Well done, Telltale, well done. I'm going to be greatly disappointed if that twist gets turned into there's more to it, because it was such a great twist. I want Bruce's parents to be full-on corrupt. I think that would be really interesting. Personally, I think it would be really, really cool to explore that, just because you can explore that. But again, I know a lot of people would be ticked off because that would spoil the sanctity. That would spoil the sanctity of Batman. But like I said, even if that were the case, even if it turns out that his family really was corrupt, that does not change or destroy or alter the Batman that you know from the comics, or the Batman that you know from the cartoons, or the Batman you know from the movies. That does not in any way affect any of those things. This game is allowed to be its own thing. And I think that it should, because I think that for many people, like myself, it would be interesting, and I think it would be really cool to explore aspects of the Batman franchise in a different light. And if you don't like that, you still have all your other things. You still have all your other... There's so many things Batman out there for everybody else who doesn't want to mess with their story in that way. You'd think Bruce would have found something about that sooner, unless Alfred had a safe hidden away from him under his parents' order or something. Well, I mean, it took a while for him to realize a lot of things about his family in general, so I'm not surprised. While some people have complained about the dead parents thing being worn out, I love how everything is different while it's still keeping the true Batman feel. The new plot twist makes some interesting openings for the story and lets me wanting more. The new combat style matches perfectly, and the Bruce bits prove to be interesting and new. I look forward to the new episode. Same with me, Boast AG. Maybe they were infiltrating to unmask every villain. I think I might have to play the series now. Well, cool, Evan. I'm glad. I brutalized Falcone. If the cameras weren't on, he would have handed him over safe and sound. But Batman's power is the fear he instills in his criminals. That's very true. So my Batman sent a message. That's fair, Mike. Maybe the preview video is in the video section. You could look for it there. I don't know. I can check. I can check that really quick once I reach. Let's see. Is the Batman Unmasked coming soon? Oh no, this isn't. World premiere. Okay, these are just the trailers. I don't think it's there, guys. But let me continue with the message, with everything else. Okay, guys, I have to leave now. I'm never able to stick around for the Q&A parts, but I hope everyone has good debates. I'm glad you enjoyed our heart. See you in the next episode. See ya, Boast AG. Thank you for coming. I'm going to take a quick shower myself. I might be back, though I don't know. Yummy Dark, I was a realistic approach to think about it a little bit. This is really interesting because he questions now why he's doing all this, and I hope they keep the corruptness of his family, because that means he has to find another reason to fight. Yes, I agree with you. And that opens up a really interesting struggle with Bruce and a cool storyline. I agree with you completely. I was pleased with this fresh Batman story too, really pumped for the next episode. There will be 5 episodes in total here as well. Harvey may not become Two-Face by the end of those 5 to 6 episodes. We still have season 2. Depends on how good it sells. If Batman then Telltale, it's gonna sell. Well, I had a load of fun, but it's time for me to go. I'm tired. Gotta sleep. See ya, agents! PC releases are always more unstable because they are console ports. Hey, did you like the 3D engine animation? I mean, I don't think I noticed it as much. I mean, I like the art style a lot here, so if they, whatever new animation was there, I think it was subtle enough that I didn't notice it, but I liked it, if that answers your question. It was like 3 to 5 bugs, if I recall. Telltale, if you're watching this, please patch this game before episode 2 is released. Oh, I forgot I was doing another laundry. Gonna have to wait for my towel. Anyways, Mathis for Let's Talk Maybe. He has a podcast with some LPers that talk about new games and discussions, so maybe watch the Roundtable podcast, I think that's what it's called, and maybe interview him or other people who participate in it. I don't know who Mathis is. You're gonna have to send me the link for that. Well, yeah, that's the popularity curse. Andrew Creed would be cool too, though I think he mostly does sim LPs. I don't know how active he is right now. Telltale will fix this, I'm sure. Would have preferred Dick Grayson. Maybe we'll see him in the future. I would be cool to see Robin or Dick Grayson in this one. Because I'm a big Robin fan. Somebody asked me earlier who in the Batman franchise would I date. I always had a special crush on Dick Grayson, especially the Chris O'Donnell. I had a soft spot for Chris O'Donnell back in the day. So the Chris O'Donnell version of Dick Grayson, I'm all over that. Totally over that. I'm very curious to see if the new QuickTime events will carry on in the new seasons of games. The Walking Dead would be interesting to see without the usual Q to E. I'm sure they probably would. You think the next time on vid is in the video or extra section of the menu? Maybe it's in the extras? Codex or choices? No, I don't think it's there. What Batman story did you really enjoy? I think I answered that question already. I don't know if you've enjoyed their sense of humor, but you talking with Luca Jin and NCS would be interesting. I'll have to look those up. Well, in this universe, the handshake is the evil choice. Okay, it's the evil choice. I don't agree with it, but okay. Also, I wonder what would the press have said if you didn't shake the hand? I don't know. I shook it. Yeah, I mean, the press would probably jump on me if I didn't shake the hand. The press would jump on me either way, really. Even if you hadn't, the media would have been like, you let a criminal into your house. Angelarts, what Batman villain do you really enjoy? Which Batman villain do I really enjoy? I like the villains that are sympathetic. That's what I kind of like about the villains in Batman, is that they're not doing evil things just for the sake of being evil. They each have their own backstory, and they do things in ways that, because the reasons, their motivation for doing what they do can be very sympathetic. You can understand why they're doing the things they're doing. So it's hard for me to answer the question of which villain do I like the most because they are portrayed in so many different ways. To answer your question for this game, I really love, like I said, I really love what they did with Oswald. I really love what they did with Oz with this one. I'm really, especially because he's meant to be an old childhood friend of Batman for like the last 20-some years. That's a really cool spin on his character, and I'm really interested in seeing what they do with that moving forward. But it's more evidence for all the rumors. I could imagine something like, but there's some evidence, that Bruce is rejecting his parents, refusing to shake Falcone's hand. Waynes are corrupt, that is new. Court of Owls. Yeah, the press spins it, but they'll probably not have the balls to not shake his hand. Don't want to take off a gangster after all. The Maester, of course, he must have photoshopped Alfred into the picture. Darn you, sexy evil Maester. Sexy Maester all over again. Okay, here's another question, Hark. Do you like card games? If so, which ones do you like? I love card games. A lot of the card games that I like, Dominion is a card game that I love. I love Sentinels of the Universe, I think is what it's called, is another awesome card game that I love. I'm trying to think. Red Dragon Inn is another card game that I love. If you're talking about, a regular deck of cards, playing cards, I mean, Hearts, Spades, ERS, Mao is probably my favorite card game. So good that I can't even tell you about the rules, because that's part of the game, is that you're not supposed to talk about the rules. So, really, really cool. I wonder if a certain sidekick will show in the series. I hope so. Cross your fingers. That would be amazing if they got the sidekicks in here. Card games on motorcycles. That will never get out of my head. Maybe in the finale as a teaser for season 2. That's what I do. That's what I would do too. I wonder if Batman and Catwoman will hook up. I don't know. Well, they might have a kiss scene, but probably nothing too serious or long-lasting. Catwoman kisses Batman, and while he's distracted, she steals more stuff off his body. I have just seen the preview for the next episode. I'm hooked. There were a couple in the other media before. So it could be. I noticed the flirting in the revealing scene as well. Who's Dick Grayson? Everyone loves Dick Grayson. So the Hark on Robin dream hasn't been crushed yet. There's a Hark on Robin dream? I'm not aware of this Hark and Robin dream. So is there a difference between Robin and Nightwing? I mean, I think there kind of is a difference between the two. I'm assuming Nightwing is the older, more capable one after experiences. Yeah. Try the coming soon trailer. That might be the next trailer. Who's Dick Grayson? The coming soon trailer? Coming soon. Click here for the latest. Oh. No, that's not the trailer for the next thing. It's just telling you it's coming soon. What is your favorite pasta? My favorite pasta, I would probably say I'm a big veal parmesan fan. Veal parmigiani is probably going to be my favorite pasta. Or I like seafood in my pasta. So like a seafood stew over angel hair kind of deal. Manicotti is also a big favorite of mine as well. Kind of want spaghetti now, even though I'm picky and I don't eat tomato marinara sauce. That's okay, I got chocolate raisins. What would the press say if you didn't shake his hand? The press would say that Bruce snubs crime boss Falcon. They could. Maybe. I think you ignored my first question, but I'll ask again, and this is curious, but if you don't want to spoil it, I understand, but did you put my name or anyone else's names in for one of your animals in Stardew Valley Let's Play? Yes! So I know that I'm almost positive I named one of my animals after you, Mark. I know that I did the same thing with the Sylphwind. I did it with Shorty. Canaris, you're an animal in my Stardew Valley LP. Who else did I put? Conpeto Kiss, Carlson I think is in there too. Bro Carlson, Blue Duck 1982 is in there. I had a lot of animals, so I kept going through a list of just randomly picked a bunch of names that to make as animals in Stardew Valley, which is coming up. Here's a teaser trailer for episode 2. Maybe we could watch in the stream. All right, I will watch it then.
When your parents died, they left me as caretaker of their estate, their son, and their secrets. I would never betray them.
Okay. That doesn't answer my question.
Your parents were good people, Bruce. No matter what that thug Falcone told you.
Then swear to me there's no truth to it.
I don't.
The
think
evidence you
that's
brought me
simple.
on Falcone held up. Maybe I misjudged you.
Now Batman's beating up mobsters too. Wonder who he's after next.
Oh,
Hell of a
Oz.
view.
Oh, Oz.
Bruce, the Wayne name is toxic. I have to do what's best for my campaign. What's best for Gotham.
Batman and Catwoman.
I have to distance myself. I will find the truth. Along with anyone who stands in my way.
Okay, gotcha. Cool, cool, cool. Very neat stuff for the next episode. Thank you for that. It looks like we definitely are the teaming up with Batman and Catwoman. I mean, that's kind of a staple. So it's kind of neat to see that that's coming along in the next episode. What are your favorite colors? Orange is my favorite color. Next to orange, it's a toss-up between purple and yellow. Slightly more purple than yellow, just because I feel like purple is, I don't know, I find purple to be a very soothing color. So orange and purple then yellow. If Robin is voiced by Vaughn's voice actor Scott Porter, I would die with happiness. I would die too. Chris Hardwick or Scott Porter. But I don't know. I don't know if I see Chris Hardwick as Robin. I don't see that. I don't see it as Robin. But I do see Scott Porter as Robin. That would be really cool. Everyone would fangasm. Well, we know Wayne always comes on top, so the Robin won't fall too far off the tree. I'll try and send this trailer for you. So apparently Vaughn's voice actor isn't known for voice acting or whatever. Yeah, Chris Hardwick is a comedian. He's more of a comedian than a voice actor. I sent you a YouTube link to the teaser trailer episode 2 with a whisper. I got it, thank you. Nightwing is the first Robin, Dick Grayson. When Dick Grayson stopped being Robin, he became Robin. When he stopped being Nightwing. What is your favorite Troy Baker Roll's top 3? My favorite Troy Baker Rolls. Oh jeez. Of the games I've played, gosh. Of the games I've played, jeez. I mean, his performance as Joel in The Last of Us was solid. Solid. Joel from The Last of Us has to be there somewhere, because he did such a great job with that. I liked him as Jake in Resident Evil 6, but I felt like he didn't have as much to play with. Like, he didn't have nearly that many lines as Jake in Resident Evil 6. I loved him obviously as Reese in Tales from the Borderlands. I didn't play Bioshock Infinite, so I can't really talk about his Booker DeWitt. But I'm sure he was awesome in that too. So those are the Troy Baker. I mean, he was Snow in Final Fantasy, which I thought was okay. I'm trying to think what other Troy Baker. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll say Joel, Reese, and Jake, even though he doesn't really say much as Jake in that game. I'm sure there's tons of other roles. I'm just not remembering that Troy Baker is in. I named my Stardew Valley animals after the incubi from Seduce Me. That's so cute, German Kiwi gal. Now I have to watch Stardew Valley to see what type of animal I am. I'm tired of having to stare at stream for hours. Please give me like a spell check. There's a lot of entertainment you can get from that with miking Matthew. Oh yeah, Hark, I sent you an email of my new Ellen R fan art. If you want to look at it later, that's fine, but just trust me, I love it. Oh, thank you, Mark. I'll look at it in a moment. Everyone watch it for him or herself then. Oh, Oz blames Falcon for his family's fall from grace, and now the Waynes are connected to the Falconians. Harvey episode 1, I won't distance myself. Harvey 2, I have to distance myself. Well, that was quick. I mean, I told him to. So, I told him to. And I understand why, now that we're unearthing all of this Wayne Enterprises stuff. Wayne Dirty Laundry. Sometimes the trailers have things 3 episodes down. Ooh, Troy and Scott in the same game would make me happy for years. Me too. Aha, well the writing team might change their mind down the line and change the orders of things. Sometimes there are some changes in the actual episode. What is your favorite holiday? I mean, this is sort of like very, very a popular answer with the answer to this question. I do love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite time of the year. Just because people in general are happier, people in general are more motivated to be nicer to each other, more motivated to have goodwill towards each other. That's really the main thing. It's not because of the presents, it's because in general people tend to be happier, they're more hopeful, and they tend to be nicer to each other. That's why it's my favorite holiday, regardless of what race or creed or religion you follow. I'm surprised they haven't been in the games together, especially with Troy appearing in more games lately and Scott being known for Telltale games. True. Have you ever played the Golden Sun series? I have not, though I've heard very good things. Joe, you just reminded me that I downloaded one of the newer GS games, got stuck and did finish it. I love those games. I have loved every role Troy has played, but my top 3 would be Joel, Reese, and Booker DeWitt. Do you think Clementine will survive Season 3 of Walking Dead? I don't know. I hope so. But I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up dying in Season 3. I don't want her to. I want her to live, obviously. But I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. She survived for a very long time. And people's luck runs out eventually. I don't know, but I hope not. But I won't be surprised. I can't wait for episode 2. I hope she doesn't, and I'm hoping that Luke pulls a Kenny. People would rage, but me personally, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, okay, whatever, it's fine. I'm fine with that. That pasta question made me hungry for pasta. I love Babs and Dick, specifically Oracle and Nightwing. Well, hopefully she survives. I'd stink if they pulled a lead on her unless they want to move on to a new protagonist. When does episode 2 come out? Is there a date yet? I don't think so. I'm not sure, but it might say on Telltale's YouTube or forums. What is your favorite snack? Oh, my favorite snack? I'm a big peanut butter fan, so, you know, I like my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I like my peanut butter cookies, I like my peanut butter, chewy peanut butter granola bars, you know. Pretty much anything with peanut butter in it is a big go-to snack for me. I mean, it's high in protein. That's probably the way I'm gonna answer that question. Mine is Joel, Nathan Drake, and Delson from the latest Infamous. Oh. What is your least favorite food? So as a foodie, there's very little foods that I dislike. I will probably say I love vegetables in general, but the only vegetable that I have a problem with are olives, especially black olives. Green olives I'm starting to have a taste for. Black olives, it never sat well with me. So that's probably the only vegetable that I really don't like, because I love Brussels sprouts, I love, you know, green beans and a lot of these other like leafy green salads and things like that. I think olives is the only vegetable that I tend to not genuinely like. Let's see. In Season 3, Clem gets a boyfriend, and, well, I don't know if she will. We'll see. GS is a party system game, though not as interactive as BioWare. It'd be cool if you could do a little Let's Voice Act project for it one day. We'll see. I have to get through the Earthbound one first. I'm still waiting on recordings for the next episode. Nathan Drake is Nolan North, Troy Baker Shorty, and the Jin is so cute. I want a plush of some the Jin. Do you think Clementine will get a happy ending? I want her to. I don't know if she will. I want her to, though. AA, any sneak peeks on future LPs? Yes. Stardew Valley, like I said, is coming up after that. I want to do a Let's Play of Mass Effect 1 and 2. Especially with Andromeda coming out, I kind of want to complete the trilogy by playing the rest of Clive's story. Playing Clive through Mass Effect 1 and 2. So it won't be blind, but I think it'll be a good thing for me to get back into the series just before Andromeda hits. and also so I can finish and complete the trilogy before Andromeda comes down. Other than that, I'm trying to find some collab Let's Plays. Obviously, I'm doing Trine 3 again with Jason and Riz Grestar. I know that I'm supposed to be doing a co-op Let's Play with Dawnforge Cast in the near future. I think it's going to be Divinity Original Sin 2 whenever that drops. I'm trying to think what else off the top of my head. There's a lot of games that are near the top of my list that I want to do. I'd love to do YouTube Life. Is that what it's called? YouTube Life? It's like Sims, The Sims for YouTubers, or The Sims that lets you portray as a YouTuber. I think that would be fun to do. Those are some of the ones off the top of my head that I know that I would like to do as a Let's Play. I'd also like to get into the Uncharted series from the beginning. I'd like to Let's Play from Uncharted 1 all the way through 4 now, I guess. But I need to get a capture card for my PlayStations. Please excuse me, I must go make a sandwich. It's so difficult to get peanut butter candy here in Germany. I love it so much. Reese's Pieces, I love Reese's Pieces. I love Butterfinger. Butterfinger is one of my favorite candy bars. I hate Sprouts. Oh, that's too bad. We don't buy a lot of peanut butter out here. But I suppose you could buy some and try to make your own. There are some internet shops that delivers it. Oh, that's interesting that you guys don't get peanut butter very much. What is your favorite holiday food? I don't know if you consider this a holiday food, but I know they serve it at holidays. I'm a big fan of baklava. Baklava in general is one of my favorite desserts. It's so good. So I'm gonna say baklava. Lucky Rose, I completely forgot that he played Sam, right? I might have to look into that. Love the combo of peanut butter and chocolate. What is your favorite villain from a Telltale game? I mean, Handsome Jack is hilarious. Handsome Jack is super hilarious. So I might have to go with Handsome Jack for that one. Yeah, I might have to go Handsome Jack. He's probably going to be my favorite villain in a Telltale games that I can think of off the top of my head. You could always make some international pen pals and send each other exclusive sweets. German chocolate is really good. I'm surprised there's not chocolate peanut butter combo bars. I'm surprised too about that. Angel Arts, question time. If you bring 3 characters you love to life, who would they be and why? But warning, one will have to die for you. Oh no. Oh no, that's not good. If I could bring 3 characters to life, who would they be? It would be... Everybody who's been in my channel long enough knows who my first answer is going to be. So at the top, everybody knows Alistair. Alistair is my all-time favorite character of any video game. He's my favorite. Just because I feel like we would get along really well. I feel like I love his sense of humor. I feel like I would give Alistair such a big hug if he came to life in real life. Vaughn is probably my second favorite character of any video game too. Vaughn from Telltale's Tales of the Borderlands. He's just awesome. He's just good to be my little buddy, and then we can go to the gym and work out on his exercise bike with his abs. That would be joyous. The third character that I would like to bring to life from a video game? That's tough. Oh, Pikachu. I want my own Pikachu, doggone it. I want Pikachu to be in real life, and he would be my personal Pokemon. That'll be my third answer. Yes, Alistair, Vaughn, and Pikachu. And who knows which one is going to die for me. I wouldn't want any of them to, but who knows. Will there be a Mass Effect RPG Season 2, or do you have something else in mind first? No need to spoil something if you want to stay secret. Okay, I can say this, Joey. Yes, I definitely want to do a Mass Effect RPG Season 2, but I probably will do another campaign before that. I probably won't jump into it right away after Dragon Age Season 2. The next campaign that I want to do is going to be the People's Choice. I will probably have the viewers choose amongst 4 or 5 choices, 4 or 5 choices of what they want me to game master, what campaign they want me to master. The first choice is going to be a Harry Potter campaign. Harry Potter, I think would be really, really cool. A Harry Potter campaign that takes place current times, and not necessarily in school. I don't want you to roll. I probably will say don't roll up a student at a school. Don't roll up a student in Hogwarts. I want you to be like an adult in the real world with whatever job you want. It's just you happen to be a wizard. Probably would have a muggle job, probably. That would probably be more interesting if you had a muggle job, but you were undercover a wizard, and we would deal with a lot of the issues that go into having to keep your identity secret from the rest of the muggles. Especially, I thought that would be really cool, because I'm a big Harry Potter fan. The second choice is a Pokemon campaign, but I want it to be a more mature campaign, not as kid-friendly, and by that I mean I want you to, again, I don't want you to choose to be a Pokemon trainer. I don't want you to be a 10-year-old kid that's going around and hitting all the gyms. That's not what I want you to be. I want you, again, to be an adult, living in the real world, having some sort of real-life career, and you have one main Pokemon with you. But I want to deal with, like, real-life issues surrounding the Pokemon franchise. If we actually had Pokemon in the real world, what are some of the issues that we deal with? Obviously, a big issue is a movement that might think that having Pokemon battle each other is inhumane. You know, how dare you try to force these creatures into fighting each other until they knock each other out? How does society deal with that? Those are the kind of things I'd love to explore in a Pokemon campaign. The third one that I'm thinking of is a Doctor Who campaign, which I think would be super fun. Doctor Who campaign would be amazingly well done. The fourth one I'm thinking about is a Walking Dead campaign. And that is going to be probably the most brutal campaigns, because in that campaign, if you die, you die. I'd probably have like a list of people that would be on the waiting list. I'd have like an original 4 or 5 characters, and then if you die, you're out. And then I would revolve in whoever's next on the waiting list until the campaign is over. So that would be the brutal campaign, but I think it would be the most realistic. So don't die if we do the Walking Dead campaign. The fifth one that I'm thinking about doing is... gosh, is there a fifth choice? I thought there was a fifth choice. I was debating between a Fallout campaign. I feel like it might be like a Fallout campaign, or just a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign that I can just create my own story, my own universe, on my own. So anyway, you'll be given like 5 choices. I will ask the viewers to vote on those choices, not now, because I want to wait till Dragon Age Season 2 wraps up before I do that. But you guys will get to choose which campaign you want to have me create, and then we'll have auditions, just like we normally do, for those campaigns. So hopefully that answered your question as thoroughly as possible. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, and 4 are worth playing. Thank you, Lucky Roses. What is your favorite fruit? Mangoes is way up there. I love mangoes and kiwi. I love tropical fruits. So ripe mangoes and ripe kiwi. Those are way up there for me in terms of my favorite fruits. Second question out of Joel from The Last of Us, Vaughn from the Tales from the Borderlands, Lucas from MCSM, and Luke from The Walking Dead. Who would you save? You can only save one of them. I would save Luke from The Walking Dead. I'd save Luke from The Walking Dead. Joel is, out of those 4, Joel's my least favorite character out of the 4. Lucas is probably, as much as I love Lucas and his pants, Vaughn and Luke from The Walking Dead beats Lucas for me. And then if I had to choose between Vaughn and Luke, this is the question that broke me last time. When somebody asked me the question about Lucas versus Vaughn, I was thinking in my head Luke from The Walking Dead versus Vaughn, and that was hard for me. But I think if you had to force me to choose saving only one of them, I would probably pick Luke over Vaughn just because I feel like I would have a deeper connection and a deeper friendship with Luke from The Walking Dead than I would with Vaughn. Not that I wouldn't have a deep connection with Vaughn, I just feel like I would have a deeper connection with Luke. But I would well have to save them. If I could save 2 out of those 4, hands down would be Luke and Vaughn. I fall into fantasy. What is your favorite breakfast food? There is a traditional breakfast food in the Philippines called bibingka. Bibingka is like a pancake, but in my opinion, better than a pancake. It is a pancake made of rice flour, and it is served both sweet and savory. It has both sweet and savory elements in it. It's got, like, you could put coconut on it, you can put salted duck egg on it. I know it sounds really strange and really odd, but I love it because of the fact that it's got the mixture of sweet and savory both together in one pancake. Because that's my big problem when it comes to breakfast food. I love breakfast food. Brunch is my favorite meal of the day. And whenever I go to a diner, I love going to diners, I'm always torn between ordering a sweet dish versus a savory breakfast dish. Bibingka has them both. So that's why I love bibingka. Look it up online, B-I-B-I-B-I-N-K. No, B-I-B-I-N-G-K-A, I think is how you spell it. I love it. It's super good. Cottage cheese. You also put cottage cheese in it, so it's moist. Bibingka is cottage cheese, coconut, salted egg. This all sounds strange to a lot of you, I'm sure. But I love it. As a Filipino, nothing beats it for me in terms of breakfast food. Geez, all this talk about food makes me hungry. This food is making me hungry. Gonna make a sandwich. Still want a Harry Potter Telltale so bad. Me too. I still want that, but even more than that, I want a Doctor Who. Telltale would do Doctor Who so well. They would do a Doctor Who game so awesomely well, in my opinion. What is your favorite flour for cooking? Favorite flour for cooking? I mean, I love rose water. Rose water is great for like desserts and sweets and syrup and ice cream. So maybe that'll answer your question. They got Game of Thrones. Hopefully the rights won't be too hard. I bet someone makes Team Rocket character. I would love for someone to make a Team Rocket character in a Pokemon campaign. I would love that. That would be super cool. Well, with Pokemon, it can focus on psychic types or special kinds. You can talk to communicate with them easier. So Team Plasma, basically. Favorite Final Fantasy medieval game? Ooh, I'll join the Pokemon campaign if there isn't a Mass Effect campaign. Hey, right now my skin on Minecraft is Palma-controlled Lucas. Aww. Definitely interesting concepts, they all seem pretty cool. D&D campaign's fine by me too. Thank you, Mark. A little disappointed Emmy isn't up next on the docket, but most of those sound cool too. Thank you, Evan. They all sound awesome. Either way, I will tune in. Aha, I haven't had kiwis in years. I want some now. You love kiwi? Oh, I'm so flattered, Hark. Of course, German kiwi gal. It was me. I asked you that question. Walking Dead would be kind of brutal to watch, I suspect, but it sounds really interesting. Well, he said eating them, so run. Walking Dead would be so interesting with Hark, the DM who doesn't like killing off PCs. Exactly! I don't like killing off PCs. So maybe this campaign would be good for me, because I'd have to kill you off. I'd have to try to kill you. I'd constantly be trying to kill you. And it would break my heart so much, because you could die in the first session. That's possible. You could die in the first session and be like, sorry, but you got bit and you didn't cut off whatever you needed to cut off because, yeah. So, yeah, that would be hard. That would be hard for me. Part of me is afraid to do a Walking Dead campaign because I feel like it would just be such a burden for me as a GM because I would be like, but I like playing with this person. Why does this person have to die? Oh, that would be tough for me. Oh, you could make a video showing us how to make that Filipino food. I could! I really do need to get back into my cooking videos. I love making cooking videos, but they just take so much time to put together. Well, people are into Hannibal, so why did he have to die? Originally, the final choice for Telltale is supposed to be Luke versus Kenny, but they changed it for some reason. That's what I heard. What is your less stories game? I'm sorry, I can't. Could you repeat that question? I fall into fantasy. I went to the symbols, but I've seen him play a game. What is your favorite fantasy medieval game? Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age Inquisition. Dragon Age Inquisition. I'll say Dragon Age Inquisition is my favorite medieval fantasy game. I'm gonna try to kill you, biggest smile ever. I'm scared now. Cooking videos would be fun. Okay, so again, guys, I have a little bit more time, like another 10 or 15 minutes if you want. Ask me any question that you want, Q&A question. And if I don't get any questions, then I'm gonna call it a day. So anything and everything that you want to ask me about. I haven't really made an update on the channel recently, so I'm glad that I'm able to do that. AA, who is better for Lucas, Jesse or Petra? I mean, that's a subjective question for me. I mean, I'm partial to that. So I'm going to say Jesse. You know, I like Petra. Don't get me wrong. I like Petra. She's voiced by the voice actor who does, you know, Ellie in The Last of Us, but I personally like Jesse and Lucas together, and that's just me personally. What is your favorite food at the movies? I'm a big fan of nachos. I love cheese, so I like nachos. I prefer nachos with my cheese. I like a lot of cheese with my nachos. Giggles, oh, he likes me. Yay. Anything else that you guys want to ask about anything? Going once, going twice. I have a bad feeling about MCSM. I fear for Lucas. If you could choose between a diamond hoe and Lucas pants. Oh wait, the answer's so obvious to be a question, right? Yeah, you know what my answer is going to be. You know what? You know which of those two I'm going to pick. No contest. Okay. How was the Seduce Me interview? I haven't been in the last stream. How was it? Oh well, I mean, it's up on my channel. If you want to post it up there. I mean, if you want to watch it, it's up on my channel. So check it out. The Seduce Me interview was awesome. Awesome. James is wrapping up. I'm about to go back to Seduce Me 1. I recorded myself doing all of the Diana path for Seduce Me 1 because I wanted to be prepared to do the Diana path in Seduce Me 2. So that's coming up really cool. I know you love storytelling in video games. So what is your least favorite storytelling in a game? My least favorite story in a game? See, that's the problem, is if I didn't like the story, I don't remember it. I don't remember it if it was a bad story. I can't answer that question because I don't remember the bad stories. I only remember the good stories. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to answer your question. It's just I can't. The only stories I really remember are the good ones. I don't remember the bad ones. The bad stories are forgettable, and therefore I forget them. And sold to the man in the trench coat. Thank you. Better question: Lucas pants or Lucas without pants? Lucas. Wait. So are you asking me if I prefer Lucas without his pants, or only his pants? Are you asking me, do I prefer Lucas in his pants or Lucas out of his pants? Which one are you asking me? I wonder what Vaughn and Lucas would be like if they were in the same game. That would implode. With pants. Thanks for playing through. You're a great host. You're welcome. I fall into fantasy. He said he doesn't have underwear. Oh gosh. Would you want The Last of Us 2? I mean, it leads us up. I won't say no to The Last of Us 2. It's successful, and I think they are making The Last of Us 2. So I'm not gonna say no to it. I think that it would be better for the story lends itself to a sequel. I think they ended the story in a way that you kind of are going for a sequel. But the thing is, the ending also ends in a way that it doesn't need a sequel either. Lucas with pants or without. I mean. So what I'm gonna say is, I do prefer Lucas with his pants, and this is the reason why. Because when it comes to people that I crush on, the people that I am attracted to, I like to have a sense of imagination. It's sort of like, you know, I don't like it when, bam, the person is just like fully naked or completely without clothes for all to see, because I kind of prefer when you have someone meet someone that you there's a sense of imagination. The other reason is I kind of want to respect the person as a person first, and not as a sexual object, because I think that you appreciate the person more and you appreciate the person deeper if you see them as a fully clothed, you know, non-sexual object first, and then you can talk about not having pants later. For me, that's what I prefer. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If you could save Luke and had to choose between Kenny or Luke, would you choose Luke or Kenny? I mean, that's an easy question, Luke. I mean, everybody knows that Kenny's Kenny, but Luke is Luke for me. Luke and Kenny, I'm sorry, there's no contest for me. It's Luke. This is what Luke would look like in real life. Oh, okay. Lucas without pants, but in the little piggy boxers. Yes, the little Reuben boxers would be amazing. I don't think I've seen that photo yet. What were your favorite theater plays? What are your favorite theater plays? Wicked is my favorite overall. Wicked is my favorite overall musical. From there, I mean, I really enjoyed Avenue Q. I'm going through the ones I've seen recently. I really liked Avenue Q. I really liked The Newsies. I really liked, you know, Fiddler on the Roof is always fun. Beauty and the Beast is always fun. But Wicked is definitely my favorite musical of all. Reuben Boxers. Okay, so I think I got to the bottom, guys. So, whew, we had a long live stream, longer than normal. So I want to just say thank you to Lucky Roses, Mark 31520, Amber Balf 25, Astron Anime, Evan, German Kiwi Gal, I Fall Into Fantasy, Joey, Kunpeto Shorty in California, Super Slayer, Surprise Sam, The Sylphwin, and Winter Hurts. Thank you guys for sticking with me to the very end. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for the day. I hope you had a lot of fun. And I guess I will talk to you guys in the next live stream. So until then, everybody, love yourselves, love each other. Mwah! Good night, everybody, or good morning, or good afternoon, whatever the case may be.